The Outlanders Journey. Tier 1, Level 1. Chapter 9. Arc. You can't help but find something off about Brother Taida. Errol's reassured you a couple times that he's always been like this, but you know in your gut he's hiding something. He shuffles his feet when he moves, and ducks his head low like he's slinking around. The other night, you caught him smelling the blankets and dried rations intended for the orcs. The three of you have been journeying across the plains for about 5 days. The air is brisk, but you're kept hot by the dry heat of the sun. With each passing day, your backpack feels heavier and heavier on your sore shoulders. Your wings ache under its weight. Wherever you find scant shade, you take a long water break. Your feet have never felt so tender before. During these breaks, Errol and Taida reevaluate their navigation. Without fail, Errol is able to pinpoint your location on the maps. Her capabilities impress you to no end. The land ahead looks virtually the same to you, save a few scatterings of rocks and trees in the distance. You and Brother Taida would be completely lost without her. Normally I'd use jackrabbits and snakes to help me figure out where we are, she says. But the animals are scattered so randomly, and we haven't seen any bison yet. Will this present any problems for us? Asks Brother Taida. Not significantly. I just hope it isn't like this further up north. You lick the last drop of water in your water skin. Your throat is still parched. Your body is so hot you wish to pluck away all of your feathers. Brother Taida, you say hoarsely, can you hand me the bucket? Of course, he says. He unlatches it from his backpack and hands it to you. Errol hands you a water skin, but you refuse. You put your hands together and begin to chant a simple prayer for create or destroy water. The last time you attempted this spell, you accidentally caused rain to pour down instead, but you think you figured out your mistake. You close your eyes, trying to mimic the proper incantation and enunciation you've heard from Errol. A warmth runs through your hands, and you watch as the bucket fills with pure water. You got it, says Errol, patting your back. You nod at her proudly. Here. You push the bucket towards her. There's enough for everyone. Thank you, Brother Ark, says Brother Taida. The three of you refill your water skins, drinking thirstily. Half of the bucket is empty by the time you've all had your share. You splash the remainder onto your face and the back of your wings. The relief is better than any healing spell you've ever received. Errol wrings a washcloth and wipes it across her arms and neck. She dunks it back into the bucket and folds it across her forehead, breathing a sigh as well. You glance over at Brother Taida, who's still busy staring at the map, protectively covering it with his arms. Suddenly, he perks his head up, and he looks around like a scared fawn. Something wrong? You whisper. He puts a finger to his lips. Soon, you hear it too, the sound of crunching footsteps approaching. It's not like the scampering of the wild animals you're used to. It's slow, deliberate, and intelligent. Before you can say anything, a low voice calls out, "Come out of the grass, now." Brother Taida falls flat onto the ground, hiding the maps under his body. He peers up at the two of you, shaking his head. I can't be seen, he mouths. I said come out now. Errol glances at you, panic in her eyes. Very slowly, she raises her arms and stands. Ahead is the faint outline of a soldier in camouflaged uniform. He's pointing a knocked crossbow at Errol, and a dagger dangles off his belt. You notice a tiny reflective pin in the shape of a lion's head. He's a scout. You shoot up, positioning yourself slightly in front of Errol. This startles the scout, who immediately points the crossbow at your head. Please don't shoot, you say in Elvish. We're peaceful. The scout furrows his brow. What's an Aarakocra doing out here with a human? We are, says Errol. We are clerics of Sylvanos, you say. We are exploring the area around the forest. You steady your breathing, trying to maintain eye contact with the scout. You resist the urge to gaze at the pointed crossbow bolt. Silvanus, says the scout. What jurisdiction do you have over these parts? According to the INA, we have permission to explore, you say. We are examining the health of the wildlife in the area to see if it will have any impact on the forest. The scout turns to Errol. You ain't no INA citizen. She is, you say. I am, sir. Pretty wingless to be from the forest. We have our badges as proof, you say. You reach into your pocket slowly. The scout holds his finger over the trigger, but he waits for you. You extend your hand, allowing him to examine the shimmering emblem of the INA, an oak tree with 4 feathers radiating out of the center. Your name, race, and birthday are engraved along the edges in Sylvan. On the other side, hidden from him, the wings of an eagle representing the southern region. He squints at it, taking 1 step closer. Then he points the crossbow at Errol. And yours? She displays the identical half of her badge. On the tail's side are the wings of the Everlight, to indicate her honorary citizenship through the temple. You hope he doesn't ask either of you to display the other side. A long moment passes, but he finally lowers his crossbow. All right, he says. You two here alone? You nod. You can see Brother Tide out of the corner of your eyes, protectively covering the back of his head with his hands. You see anyone else around here recently? Asks the scout. Just snakes and rabbits, you say. Your names? Coney, you say. And this is Arabelle. You hope the scout doesn't know how to read the names on your badges. He stares you down, then nods once. You two have a good rest of your day. Stay careful out there. Thank you. You as well, you say. He turns and marches off, disappearing back into the foliage. Slowly, you lower yourselves again. Errol continues to watch for other scouts nearby. That was close, you whisper. Is everyone okay? Brother Tida sits back up. Thank you, Brother Ark. Thank you for saving us. How did you come up with that on the spot? Says Errol. You shrug. I guess there really are scouts here, huh? Evidently they are further north than I presumed, says Brother Tida. I didn't expect them to search so diligently either. We need to be even more careful now. He picks up the map, dusting it off, and gestures at the first marked location, a small cave formation. How far away do you think we are from this location, Sister Errol? Errol uses her hands to roughly measure the distance. 5 more days, she says. We're about halfway there. He nods. They are in danger if scouts are this close. We must continue. He stuffs the maps back in his knapsack, crouching low, his eyes darting back and forth. You still can't shake the feeling that you find Brother Tida suspicious. Why was he so afraid of being caught by the scouts? Why does he have to hide so much? Before you go, you whisper to him, can you tell us why you don't want to be seen by the soldiers? I know you don't want them to have your information, but I feel like there's more to the story. Brother Tida's shoulders tense up. He peers past you to see if the scout is still nearby. Brother Ark, your eyes are too perceptive. Yes, I must admit I have been hiding some details from you. I mean no ill intent, but I do apologize. I've been trying to come up with the words, and I am ashamed that I haven't been brave enough to share. It is difficult for me to explain the situation that played out before your arrival. I know I have badly mishandled communication with the orcs. It is possible that I have lost any goodwill with them, and they will react to my presence with hostility and aggression. Does that have anything to do with the soldiers? You say. I wish not to involve them as much as possible. As I've mentioned before, they have been asking me and Sister Ethel almost every day for assistance. They want me to find the orcs for them, because they know that we have the best knowledge of their whereabouts, but I have been refusing such requests. It is a tricky situation there, and they are not happy with me or Sister Ethel. I am afraid that if they find me out here, they will try to follow us. They're not threatening to hurt you, are they? Asks Errol. So far, they have simply been very beseeching. The lieutenant personally speaks to me, and he has a rather forceful presence. Brother Taida puts his hands together. I very much wish to make proper amends with the orcs. In order to do so, I must present myself as an independent party with no nefarious ties. They will be unable to receive our help if they still believe me to be an enemy. You two, I believe, are key to helping with this. He smiles at the two of you, a hand on each of your shoulders. You can tell he's still being vague in his answers. His eyes are shifty, his back slouched. So you can tell us exactly what happened with the orcs? You ask. There's a long and drawn-out silence. Brother Taida closes his eyes, and he begins to mutter under his breath. He's praying, and you catch the last of his words. Please forgive me. You glance at Errol, who's just as confused as you now. She hugs her knees, leaning forward and waiting in anticipation, like a frightened child. As I mentioned, he says, I have badly handled communication with the orcs. I found out through the lieutenant several weeks later of what I had done. Done what? You say. My mistake took the lives of hundreds of orcs. Your mouth drops open, and you notice Errol's eyes widen. What did you do? You ask. How did this happen? Is this what it means to be the chosen? To be a part of a religion where no one truly knows what they're doing? Brother Taida lifts his eyes up to the sky, hands clasped together. You realize none of you are equipped to handle a situation like this, and all of you are simply winging it, making grave errors along the way. None of it was my intention, says Brother Taida. I was trying to save them.